I might even win having that weird hair from that George guy on Ancient Aliens. I think my hair is even weirder than his. But hey, it's what's in your head, not what's on your head that matters. Yeah. I just want to let everybody know that my hair is all messy because I was laying down a little earlier, taking a short little nap. But I just want to announce that, like the last presentation, that we finally got both books finally published, and finally got it to the printer, and finally got both books in. And the reason why I needed two books, because I'm going to explain real quick how they work. The Ancient Chinook Global Mapping and the 260-day calendar is all the basic knowledge that you need to know about this ancient science that's being discussed here, and all of the knowledge that has to do with the basic equations and the basic setup with the planets and the zodiacs, and all other good stuff that has to do with things that people don't pay much attention to, even though they should. Hey, speed of light. And then at 1,000 times 260, you can even get the speed light here. But this one right here is the general textbook. This gives you all of the basics of the ancient sciences and how we came up with the indigenous golden mean ratio, 1.625, how we came up with the indigenous pi or rational pi, 3.25, because modern man still hasn't gotten around to using the right pi yet. I challenge anybody out there to let me know how you use 3.1764321 or whatever it is. Show me a practical use for it. I challenge you. I mean, my 3.25 times 9 makes 29.25 north. That's the exact latitude for Memphis, Egypt, which was created before Cairo was even in a thought. Can you do that with your modern pi? This is the challenge. Let's see how smart modern man really is. Show me one use for your modern pi, like I just did by showing that 3.25 for Memphis, Egypt. Can anyone show me any use for a pi?
Well, some people might counter, with
gibberish,
circumference and
mathematical gibberish,
volume, and
that's why they created all those other theoretical math classes, so you could lie your ass off about it. But anyway, this book here is something that people really need to pay attention to, because this contains our real culture and who we really are as a people, not as what is being taught in university or colleges worldwide. Those are all colonial lies. It's all colonial tools to get control of the land, the resources, and eventually the money. So, you got to quit listening to lies that are in your universities, because, people that don't know their own culture, they're going to tell you about my culture. Ha 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 ha. Lots of luck. It's a colonial tool to get us away from our land. So if you want real culture, you want real history of the Americas, of our people, this is the book. Everything that's been taken away from us since 1492 is put back into place like it's 1491. Because that was before, BC, before Columbus. So this is very valuable, because this contains who we really are as a culture, who we really are as a people, not only Uto Aztecans, but Athabascan-speaking people, the other tribes that are here, the Algonquians. We're all connected. We're all the same people. We're all related. So this is the basic textbook for all the basic science that is contained in the ancient indigenous world. Basically, it's an ancient indigenous science book. This is a supplement to this book over here called Ancient Latitudes and Longitudes, the Hohokam Trade Empire. My cousin Sean Ramon lives down in this neck of the woods. He lives 9 miles away from that mountain right there. That's Bobby Keevry. This is a supplement to this, because this explains the basics, but this takes those basics and starts putting them into practical use.
It goes to the next level.
Yeah. So he explains, how all of this is connected, and how some of these things that are being misconstrued, say these 7 caves are where these people emerged from, when it's really a trade map of the Southwest, and how Teotihuacan is connected directly to Nogales, and how Babaquibi is directly connected to Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital of the world. How you could use a square maze to create latitudes, longitudes, so you can map out the entire Southwest by using a square mechanical layout of this maze over here. It gives you the entire layout compared to the Chinook global mapping, which is one and the same over here. So it's basically putting all of those equations in that first book to practical use. An indigenous compass, how to put it over your head so you can find other latitudes from a certain point, and explains the trade layout for the whole Southwest. This is every trade location from Oribe for the entire Southwest. This is, and then, this is that thing going to Teotihuacan again. And here's another map over here for the entire trade layout from Sandia Mountain for the entire Southwest from here. And this over here is the traditional layout that the Hohokam created to make their trade layout, which was in the shape of a lizard. His tail, his head, his arms, and his legs. That's why I put the Hujut Trade Empire. Lizard. Hujut means lizard in T.O. So this is everything that's put in here is how the ancients would have put it together in their traditional sense without any Western world influence whatsoever, including not using your stupid pi, 3.17, whatever Colleen said.
3.14.
Yeah,
so
whatever
on
it
and so
is,
forth.
wrong, whatever it is.
It's an irrational number because it goes on into infinity.
Yeah, it's irrational because it's a lie. But these two books right here, they go together. This one teaches you the basics. This one is a supplement to teach you how to put these into practical use. Why did I say that? Because my first project is going to be this little map right here, where it says the Canyon of the Ancients. And if you look over here, it says Chaco Canyon, and it says Pueblo Pintado, and the Cabazon Peak, and this purple line that's going right here. I'm going to show you why it's important because it's going to be on my next project. This purple line and that yellow line that's going to the Gila Cliff Dwellings is going to be one of my next projects. Why is it a next project? This is going to be kind of fun. What I'm going to be doing is taking this and actually showing you alignments in the local Albuquerque area. What do I mean by the local Albuquerque area? 35, 106. 35 degrees latitude, 106 longitude. That's the Sandia Mountain. Below that's 34, 106, Socorro. What's over here? 36, 107. That's up here where Chaco is located. 35, 107, and then you go on down. But the reason I'm showing you this is because there's an alignment from the Sandia Mountains. You see that little base there with a little T on it? At the south end of the Sandia Mountains is a lady's face as big as the Statue of Liberty. I'm convinced is facing toward Hidden Mountain outside of Los Lunas and Isleta, and I believe it's directly in alignment to take you to the Gila Cliff Dwellings. Why did the Gila Cliff Dwellings? Because the next stop after that is Bisbee. What is in Bisbee? Gold, silver, copper, and turquoise. What's at the end of this alignment? You go to 35106 on the other side of the Sandias, and Golden on the other side of the Positas and all that area. They found gold, silver, and copper. And what's up further in this corner? A place called Cerrillos. And what is in Cerrillos? Turquoise mines. What's in Bisbee? Turquoise mines. They're connected. And she's staring straight there. On this to there to there. Over here is the Gila Cliff Dwellings. In between these two blocks, there's the Hidden Mountain area. But that's not the only alignment. If you go to the northwest side, there's an observation tower next to the Needle up here on the Sandia, which is going up there toward the interstate. There's an observation tower. I'm convinced that is an alignment that when you look at it from the Needle here at Sandia, and you stare at it and you look at the Cabazon Peak on the horizon, that it's in a direct alignment to Pueblo Pintado. What's important about Pueblo Pintado? If you follow the Chaco Wash for 20 miles, it takes you to Chaco. So you go Chaco, Pueblo Pintado. Why was Cabazon Peak important? Because it was the route for the Rio Puerco trade route that went down to the Rio Grande, to here. And what is this over here? The center of all of these places are set up by horizontal markers. This is the Sandia Mountain, so you can see it from the horizon. But what can you see going west from the horizon? Mount Taylor. You could do that to all the mountains, all the way up to Mount Humphrey by Flagstaff, all the way to Spirit Peak in Nevada. They all have these natural markers that you can see from the horizon. So this is Mount Taylor. This is the Sandia. And so my next project is seeing if this alignment from this tower goes to Pueblo Pintado from the Cabazon Peak to Chaco, and then actually go to Pueblo Pintado and Chaco and check it out. And then the next one is to go over and see that tea lady, which is what I nicknamed her, and she has a T on her head, and see if her alignment is going to Hidden Mountain and is going to the Gila Cliff Dwellings and to Bisbee. The reason I'm wanting to showcase this is because Hidden Mountain, I believe, it should be more or less protected. Right now, it's sitting outside a landfill out Los Lunas by a trash dump, sitting in a bunch of litter and trash and landfill nonsense there. And there's petroglyphs that really are on there that aren't the Decalogue stone, that are native. That place really should be protected. It was a major trade point for all of the tribes that were going down to Bisbee. Why? When you go from Cerrillos, Hidden Mountain, the Gila Cliff Dwellings, to Bisbee, you go to 31-110, which is the next here, which is off the paper. But just what at 31-110? Diagonal trade route directly to Teotihuacan. So you get all your gold and silver and turquoise and your gold and silver and turquoise and send it directly down to Mexico. So my next research is going through the valley here in the Sandia Valley and showing you some ancient things that I believe there besides the tea lady. There's a rattlesnake, a serpent mound that's at the Petroglyph National Monument that I wanted to show. And then the tower that shows that goes to the Cabazon Peak. I want to, go and make a video presentation of that and how this is all connected. But my project is to do the local things that are here just in this valley. Whether people know it or not, the Albuquerque Valley has history that goes back to 10,000 BC. Everybody's running around in the valley not thinking twice about it. It's ancient here. And there's a lot of alignments. And I believe there's another alignment from the Manzano to the other side where there's two mountains that if you put the two peaks together, they're like pyramids. They line up and they take you straight to Cabazon Peak as well. So this is my local project. This is just a rough sketch. I'm going to make a bigger one later and I'll do a bigger presentation on a bigger paper, but I had to put it down on something first. So
all right,
that's my project I'm wanting to work on next, locally.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing a new little piece of information here. And we will look forward to that. That should be hopefully in the next month. We'll get that. Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's a work in progress.
We got so many things to do besides trying to get the book on Patreon eventually too. So.
Cool. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we will see you next
everybody.
time.
It's morning somewhere in the world.